Let's go back to the gospel. Stay awake, because you do not know either the day or the hour. Now, that could be a military instruction, of course, because if you're a soldier, if you work in the military, if you're on a patrol or whatever it might be, staying awake can be really important, and also realizing that an attack can come completely suddenly and unexpectedly, that too can happen. And as we think about those who've given their lives in war, it's not an inappropriate phrase to reflect upon. Being vigilant, being watchful, being attentive, serving others by our vigilance. And certainly there are those we remember today who've given their lives and yet have lived by that particular kind of intention. Actually, it comes from a story which seems far away from the concerns of Remembrance Sunday. An unusual story about a marriage ceremony which we don't fully understand, but clearly was a custom in the time of Jesus, where a procession of bridesmaids would lead the groom, would go to the groom and go into the groom's presence, perhaps lead the bride to the groom and so on. And during the night time as well, a sort of a vigil before a marriage. It's a little bit obscure to us and seems strange, but of course the point is a very obvious one. It's the same one. Be vigilant, be ready, be aware, know what will happen, as appropriate in wartime as it is under a pandemic. All those slogans which we've learnt come down to much the same thing. And we remember too that in these dreadful circumstances, there are those deaths which are heroic and are celebrated as examples of great service and heroism. And there are those which are just tragic, just seem just loss and pain. It's a sad time to reflect. It's a moment of difficulty and sorrow, but also a moment to thank those who serve others, who help those who are in need, and who just try to live their lives in a good way. We remember those who've died in war. We remember those loved ones we've lost more recently. We remember all those who are suffering from this terrible virus. We remember, and God remembers, and he holds us close to him. And we pray that he remembers those who we've lost as we remember them.